my internet individuals. I'm sure you could hear that I'm a wee bit sick / snuffy / something up there. I do not have COVID, I just have some sort of, I don't know, sinus infection probably. I still have my sense of smell and my sense of taste, and I don't have body aches or any other flu-like symptoms. I just have this. I feel like there's just like a cone over my face, but also like through my face. Me being sick is not the point of this video. Well, actually, it kinda is, because where the fuck have I been for goodness knows how long now? I think it's been literally the whole year. I've been really super sick and dealing with diagnoses of a whole bunch of different diseases. In this video, you will watch me go to the doctor because they think it's cancer. I'll have surgery on my sinuses just because that was planned, because I had a deviated septum and ingrown turbinates, but I did have to have nose surgery because I had to be able to breathe, and I usually can now. Just not right now because I don't feel good. Yeah. I wanted to preface this video before I really got into it, that this is a journey of me discovering all of the things that could possibly be wrong with me through the fantastic roller coaster that is the American healthcare system. At several points, I was diagnosed with different diseases that I don't have, and we finally landed on a disease that I did have, but that was medicinally induced. So the second I stopped taking this medication, actually more specifically these two medications with one another, I immediately started to improve. And not only did I start to improve, actually, after I stopped taking this one medication, I stopped having a good majority of the problems that I've been having the whole year that have made us look for a chronic illness in the first place. But I just wanted to preface this video because at like one point in this video, they think I have cancer, so we search for that. At another point in this video, they think I have lupus, so I get tested for that. And I actually test positive for lupus. And that alarms people, and I have to go see a specialist, and it's actually the lupus specialist who figures out that it's ME/CFS. And then I figure out by accident that it's medicinally induced, because I forget to take one of my medications one night, and I wake up the next morning feeling like I did before I broke my back. Then, ironically enough, we traced the medication back, and I happened to start that medication shortly before I broke my back. Wondering now if I didn't slip and fall from my dizziness because I was dizzy from my medication. We are back to, I don't have any sort of, well, I have an autoimmune disorder, but I don't have any sort of otherwise quote-unquote chronic illness, right? My cancer has been removed as of 2020. So far, I have not had any more of those cells or growths, which is great. And ever since stopping this medication, I have not had any more of the symptoms that we thought was leading to a chronic illness and or another type of cancer, which would also be a chronic illness. But, you know, they're kind of separate, right? Because while cancer is a chronic illness, when you say that you have cancer, you don't go, oh yeah, I have a chronic illness, I have cancer, you know? You go, oh yeah, I have cancer. But usually when you have some sort of random disease that most people are likely have not heard of, just like, yeah, I have a chronic illness, it sucks. I just wanted to come out here and give that preface. You are going to watch me go through a roller coaster of being told what my different health symptoms are, and then I'm all of a sudden gonna feel magically better, because I do. Because I stopped taking nortriptyline, was the migraine medication I was on, and I don't take anything for my migraines now, which is back to sucking. I instead take a pill that, like when I get a migraine, I take a pill that'll make the migraine go away. I no longer take anything preventatively for my migraines. I am actually kind of terrified to take something for my migraines again, because because I don't want the last year happening again. Like, physically, the last year was the worst year of my life. I couldn't do anything that I wanted to do. And it started with, it wasn't just the last year, it's been like the last year and a half ever since I broke my back. And breaking my back and having to become sedentary for that long just ruined me, my body, my muscle composition, my ability to get up and go and snap back to where I was. There's no snapping back to where I was for me now. This is now my new normal composition, and I have to start all of that hard work over again to get to the part where I'm at a healthier, more comfortable body composition again. But on the plus side, through this journey, we have found several dietary issues that were causing my ingestion / digestive issues, and I have actually ruled out yet another pill. So woo! I went from having to take 5 pills, now I'm down to taking 3 pills, and it's quite nice, actually. I feel way better than I ever before. I guess not that I ever have ever before. I feel way better than I can absolutely remember feeling anywhere within the span of like the last 2 years. I'm super pumped about getting back up into life. And I am a little sad that the warm weather is gone now that I feel better, because I would like to be up and out and doing things and feeling good, and also not getting random sinus infections because it's cold outside. So thank you so very much for watching and or caring. Here is the whole fucking roller coaster that was being told and diagnosed with different illnesses and having to take tests and all of that. And then, you know, the bill after all of this is something close to like $100,000 fucking dollars that I don't have to pay. I don't understand why hospitals think that they can charge this much. 90% of Americans don't actually have the money to pay that much. They all end up getting paid reduced amounts and or selling their bills to collection companies anyway. Like, this system makes no sense to me. But that's a rant for a different day. So, ignore how tired AF I look. I worked the elections yesterday, and then, of course, because I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I couldn't fall asleep until 4 o'clock in the morning. And it's 9 o'clock in the morning now because I have to meet the people to pick up election supplies. But I just got a wonderful phone call from my doctor that I'm not just extraordinarily pissed about or anything. So I have full coverage insurance through my school. I pay $1,200 a semester for it, meaning I pay about $2,400 a year for my insurance. I need to have a septoplasty, a balloon sinoplasty, and a turbinate reduction because of how severe my sinus impactions are, my sinus blockages. Like, I have like physical blockages that need to be fixed by surgery. So everything was good to go, but literally a week ago, which is only 2 weeks before my surgery, insurance decided out of nowhere that they weren't going to cover my insurance and that they weren't going to cover my surgery anymore, and not just the whole surgery. So they'll allow me to have a septoplasty, but they think I should be able to use a neti pot for my compacted sinuses, and you know, they don't think that turbinate reduction is going to be necessary. If you don't know what the turbinates are, they're like the things in your sinuses. They're like finger-like things. And if you have severe allergies like I do, over time they can swell and grow and block your nasal passage. So don't think that they need to do my turbinates for some reason, even though you can clearly see in my CT scan that they're one of the largest issues that I have. And then the reason that they cited for this was that my CT scan was more than a year old. I had my CT scan in April of 2021. We scheduled my surgery
in May of 2022. So it was literally 1 month outside of the 12-month consideration thing. And so they denied it, and I was like, okay, that sucks. But the doctor was like, it's fine, you know what, we'll just get you into another CT scan. He's like, and make sure you're extra stuffy that day. They've suddenly changed their policy to even stat orders take at least 30 days to process. So my other option is that I can magically come up with $65,000 so that I can have the other 2 parts of my surgery that are necessary that insurance won't cover. Because my surgery's next week, right? At this point, my surgery's next week, Thursday. And so even though it's a stat order, insurance decided that it didn't matter if you were having maybe even a life-saving surgery. You're gonna have to wait at least 30 days for them to analyze the new paperwork to be covered for your operation. Ow, that's my fucking elbow. Ouch. So I just got out of the shower, that's why I'm all wet. I am wearing a towel, do not worry, internet. I am not naked. Even if I was naked, you can't see, so I mean, it's like, whatever. It is day 3 after my surgery. I don't know if you can see this. This hurts worse than my actual face part that was broken does. From the fucking adhesive, from keeping the band-aid on my face. So I am no longer bleeding out of my nose, which is nice. You may notice that I'm trying not to move my top lip as much as possible, and that is because it does hurt, right, to pull down on my top lip because there are still stitches up in there. So I don't know if you can see them. Yep, you can, look right there. Oh, that's not a hair, that's like a thick ass fucking stitch inside holding my septum together, or the stitches. So also, this side is slightly bigger right now than this side is, and the first time I looked at that in the mirror, I was like, oh my god, I moved my septum, the fucking doctor's gonna kill me, I'm gonna have to go back in. But we looked at a lot of photos online, and it appears that that's actually pretty normal, it's just the swelling. Otherwise, my face did not really change shape at all. My nose is much wider right now, but that's because I still have the tubes, like the stents up my face. I get those removed in another like 4 or 5 days. And then my nose should honestly just go back to looking exactly how it looked before I even got the procedure. So if you were thinking about getting a septoplasty and a turbinate reduction, like if you are a mouth breather, I highly recommend. It has been 3 days, and while I'm sleeping, my body's already trying to breathe out of my nose, which, forewarning, when you're healing, does actually hurt a little bit. You know, we got it done in the summer, so our air conditioning is on, so it's a little bit dry inside the house from the cold air. So I had to take a shower to humidify up my sinuses. But like I said, this part hurts way more than this part does, probably because of the painkillers that they gave me. But I even really haven't had to take the painkiller. Like I've taken like a half a painkiller, like once, maybe twice a day, and that's been more than enough, at least for me. I have a decently high pain tolerance, so I don't really need excess, painkillers. Additionally, like the number 1 place I usually have pain is migraines, is in my head, so I'm pretty used to this hurting already because of my sinus migraines and stuff. So this level of discomfort, I almost just don't even feel it. It feels like a very mild sinus infection because I have, like, it's not swelling, it's the tubes. I probably also have swelling from the surgery, but like I feel it right there. Like I said, the worst part was the cheeks. Like, if you can't see, it literally ripped off like layers of my flesh. And then I was having really big problems being able to wash my face, but very luckily I have a super mild cleanser. Highly recommend. This is the Claire's Gentle Deep Cleansing Black Deep Cleansing Oil. It is a cleansing oil. It was so nice and gentle on the areas where my skin's been ripped off. It washed away all of the excess adhesive that was left over there that I couldn't get off, and like I couldn't take a washcloth to it because like that's raw open skin. Like the washcloth to the raw open skin was so brutal. But I was able to get in the shower and use that gentle clean fucking oil. There we go, gentle cleansing oil, and it was so nice. It got all of the gunk off right away. I've been putting Neosporin on it, but that also hasn't been really good because like the Neosporin's fine, but I don't have anything I can use to cover like the full thing without, you know, like Band-Aid taping over another part of my face, or taping onto my nose, and whatchamacallit, because we have cats and a dog, the fucking fur keeps sticking to my areas, my face areas where I put the Neosporin on. So that's kind of been a pain in the ass. If you have animals, I kind of highly recommend that if you have maybe like a friend's house you can stay at that doesn't have animals for like a day or two after your, like the first couple of days of your surgery, I highly recommend that, because animal hair has been a huge combatant. And if you are allergic to your animals, like I am allergic to my animals, but I take an allergy pill so it normally doesn't bother me. However, their hair has been trying like a motherfucker to get up in my surgery area and cause a lot of irritation, and it has gotten into my flesh. Like I woke up this morning and I had just cat hair fused to my face and my cheek was like huge, because my cat hair was trying to heal into my open flesh from the Neosporin. So if you have animals, highly recommend maybe seeing if they can stay somewhere, or cleaning the living shit out of your house before you come home. We have a long hair cat and a short hair cat and a short haired dog. The short hair cat and dog shed way more than the long hair cat does, for frickin' sure, and have been way more of a pain in the ass than like their fur has, not them in general. They've actually been lovely. They can clearly tell that I had surgery or something, that something's wrong, because they're like they're trying to lay perfectly all over in the areas that like they're comfortable. And like they just will not get off my D. They've been following me around and they've been laying by me, and like my dog won't leave like a fucking 3-foot radius from me. Ow, that hurt. Okay, so like I said, I was trying not to move my top lip too much because, you know, this is attached. That was another problem I had, was from eating. So the first night that we got back from surgery, I ended up getting Panera because cheddar broccoli Panera soup is like my comfort soup when I'm sick. It's what I eat to make myself feel better. And I couldn't like close my mouth completely on the spoon or close my mouth completely really at all while eating that first night. And so I felt really bad because my husband was like, "My love, I love you, but you're making me so sad," because I would like try to take a bite of soup and then like the soup would all fall out of my mouth. So like essentially just what ended up having to happen is I had to like tilt my head back and then just like pour some soup in and then like swallow with my mouth half open. On the other side of that, I have lost over 7 pounds in the 3 days that I have been healing from surgery, and not in a bad way either. Not like, oh my god, that's so many pounds in 3 days. It's because I haven't been binge eating at night, so I haven't been eating, you know, chips and cookies and chocolate and crackers and drinking fucking 2 whole glasses of whole milk before I go to sleep. Because I can't do any of that right now. I can chew and stuff perfectly fine. That's not a problem. I can eat, but like it's the physical getting of food in my mouth, because I can't open my mouth as wide as I normally like. I like to take a bite. Additionally, taking bites of sandwiches was do not recommend. I ended up having to cut up. We got a chicken sandwich. I ended up having to cut up the chicken sandwich like with a fork and a knife to eat it into very small pieces. Also, if you have a family member who like cannot stand when people chew with their mouth open, do not have them around while you're healing from the surgery, because you have to chew with your mouth open if you want to breathe while eating. Just gonna throw that out there. But yeah, so I just got out of the shower. I was waiting for my face to dry up a little bit without having to like touch it with a towel. And now that it is dry, I'm gonna go ahead and put the cream and a band-aid on, and I'll show you my band-aid situation now that my nose has stopped bleeding. Alright, so this is my current setup. Like I said, I've mostly stopped bleeding, so I just take a regular band-aid now and I put the zinc ointment on it, and I squish it up into my nose where my sutures are, and then I've just been using a regular band-aid. These are sensitive skin actual band-aid brand band-aids. For some reason, their adhesive does not do this to my face. I'm actually gonna put on some Neosporin here, and then just like sit up and let it absorb into my flesh. But yeah, so that's my day 3 setup. I'll check in as soon as I've had my sutures removed in a couple days. In doctor's office, getting my stitches and my splints out of my nose, so my nose should de-swell.